Okay, blessed Sabbath, everyone. We are going to continue our study from last week. So today is what day today? October 5th, 2019, okay? We're going to continue our lesson from last time about the first angel's message. Now I'm gonna ask, okay, I already draw this. Okay, I already asked question in 1798. We know the first angel's message arrived. Increase of knowledge of book of Daniel regarding prophecy. What else?
Unsealed.
Unsealed the book.
Unseal. That's right, Dino. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, unseal. Unseal of
The book
the book
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, the book of Daniel. Okay, now which part of the book of Daniel or what verse in the book of Daniel that been sealed?
14.
Okay, so the sealing book is Daniel 8:14. How do you know Auntie Early Daniel 8:14 is the sealing?
Because 2300 days and days in Genesis 1:5 say evening and morning. Evening and morning in Daniel 12.
Not Daniel 12.
Daniel berapa tadi? Daniel I forgot.
Okay, anybody, how do you prove? Because we need to be able to know, to prove it, what verse in the book of Daniel that been sealed. That's right, Daniel 8:14. But how can you prove it that Daniel 8:14 is the book that has been sealed until 1798? Sanderly was correct. She already started. Can you guys continue? Or until it wants to?
26, yeah.
Okay, what happened in Daniel 8:26? I mean, why Auntie Elite wants to go to Daniel 8:26?
8:26 talking about vision, evening and morning. And shut up the vision.
Up the vision. That's right. What is another word for shut up?
Seal.
Seal. The vision about what that need to be shut to seal, Auntie Elite?
About evening and morning.
Evening and morning. That's correct. Okay, this is so important. And of course, when you go to Genesis 1:5, evening and morning is equal day. So this one, then you guys, you can connect that 2300 days, the vision has been sealed until
the book is unsealed.
What year? Until
1798 itu book ini
unsealed.
Itu ini apa? The first angel message come.
Yeah. So before 1798, what can I write? What can I put it here before 1798?
Before 1798 is sealed.
Darkness.
What book that sealed over here?
Daniel
8:14. That's right. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, Daniel 8:14. Di sini still sealed. Over here, it's already unsealed. Okay, so far? Right? So when the book start to unseal 1798, increase of knowledge of book of Daniel, Ellen White mentioned that when Daniel and his friend, William Miller and his friend proclaimed that the judgment is come, the judgment is near, they proclaim the message, fear God and give glory to him, which is the first angel's message. And since 1798, the book of Daniel, Daniel 8:14 unsealed, meaning the book of Daniel unsealed, and when they understand Daniel 8:14, they understand about what in the future?
about the end of 2300.
What happened at the end of 2300 based on first angel's message. Fear God and give glory for him for the hour of judgment if
Oh,
God.
the judgment.
The judgment, that's good. That's good,
Okay.
Annie. You put things together, okay? The judgment. Okay. They will understand, yeah, in the future that at the end of 2300, there's going to be a judgment. That's why William Miller think that the judgment is what? What is the
earth.
Yeah, Jesus
The
will
earth.
come and to judge us, right? But that's another story. We're not going to go there, but the end is judgment. Okay. One thing that Elmer and Nathan did not touch, but I'm going to give it to you. Okay, 1798. Now we are going to put the timeline, okay? Timeline about the first angel's message, okay? Now, this is the first angel's message, okay? Arrive, remember that. And God raised up. I'm going to keep emphasize this because when we arrive to the third angel's message, you have to understand this principle. Every time God sent a message, he needs to use a what?
Somebody.
Messenger.
Messenger, that's right, or somebody which is messenger. So who is the messenger that God used for the first angel's message?
Miller.
William Miller, that's right. Okay, this is the principle that we need to know because God will use people continually to send the message. And for our time, he's going to use Wagner and Jones for the third angel's message. So if we don't study Wagner and Jones, we do not know the third angel's message, okay? Even though people said, I know the third angel's message, no, you don't, until you study Wagner and Jones. We do not know the first angel's message, what's inside the first angel's message, second angel's message, if you don't study the book of, if you don't study the writing of William Miller, right? Because God is the one that raised him up to present the first angel's message. Okay, so on what year William Miller start his study?
1816.
1816. Do you guys have the quotation, right? Right?
Quotation. Quotation.
You guys have the quotation here. Okay, so I don't have to share.
DC 368.
That's right. Okay. Now, if somebody want to ask you guys where, you guys can prove it. And then,
329.2.
How come I get 368?
368 itu kita punya study bilangnya William Miller sama dia.
ini dia.
Atau
GC 329.2.
Agak ke bawah lagi. Ke bawah lagi.
Oh, I see. 3 what?
329.2, GC 329.2. And also from another author, his name is Leroy Froome.
Leroy Froome.
Yeah, 1954.
Yeah.
Point.
That William Miller began to study from 1816 to 1818. Okay. Now, when William Miller started from 1816 to 1818, over here, what did William Miller use for his study?
The concordant, bukan strong.
Prudence.
And the Bible.
And Bible, right? And Bible. That's it, guys. That's it. At that time, there's no spirit of prophecy like we do have right now from Ellen White. Make us easier. But for William Miller, he studied from Genesis 1, verse 1, using prudence, concordance, just to compare scripture. And it's so, wow, That's why he arrived in the book Daniel 8:14, and then God began to unfold the prophecy to him. Okay, I think that's the last that we arrived him. We finished last time over here. And he made conclusion. What is his conclusion again? What is his conclusion?
Conclusion, in
After
25 years, God will come.
Come. So in what year then?
1843.
1843. Okay. So how old is William Miller when he make a conclusion over here?
36.
36.
36, that's right. Okay. Now from 1798 to 1818, how long is it right here?
20 years.
20 years, right? Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna share to Dino regarding his question last week, 1863. But Dino, sorry, I'll share it with you when I come back from California. Okay. Remember, when William Miller preached about this message, remember I mentioned to you guys that all this message here is in the chart, right? Chart 1843 chart. 1843 chart. Okay, and remember I said what happened in 1863 right here?
Another chart by
Chart was made
James
by
White.
James White. But this chart, Ellen White never endorsed. And I promised to Dino I want to give that quotation, but I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I will give it to you, what Ellen White mentioned about James White in 1863. Okay, but from 1843 to 1863, how many years is that?
20 years.
20 years, right? 20 years. So basically, beside 1843, we know that there's another time prophecy to prove that Jesus will come. It's 2520. You know that. And 2520, we're going to study next time is about scattering and gathering. Okay. So over here, God raised up William Miller to proclaim the message to gather God's people, right? To gather God's people, because God's people needs to gather together and proclaim the message that Jesus is coming. Okay? But in 1863, this message about scattering and gathering, James White, when he make a chart, he doesn't put 2520, or he doesn't put the message of scattering and gathering. So basically, God's people scatter again in their, not literal like 2520 they scattered to Babylon, but this is about scattering about their intellectual knowledge about the message of 2520, which is gathering and scattering. And it's so interesting until early 1818 to 1843 about gathering message, but in 1863 the message was scattered again. And look at the number right here. What is the number?
2520.
2520, right? When you go right here, it's 2520. But when you go right here to 1798, what is this?
2520.
2520 again. So just based on this chart, when you see the beautiful number, we know that God's in it, you know. This is the signature of God to show us that God in the prophecy, and God cannot lie. If we say something regarding the prophecy, the number, the fulfillment, he cannot lie. How do I know he cannot lie? You can see the beautiful numbers from the prophecy, God showing himself that I'm the one that put this number. Nobody else will put the beautiful number, but only me, you know? So this is just like a beautiful number that God revealed himself. Okay.
Joy,
Ya Kak, silakan.
we did not get this last time.
Last time.
The number.
Oh, the number.
Yeah, the number 20, 25, and 20 again, and
25.
Yeah.
I think so, Kak, but I remember I shared this long time ago, but probably mungkin Kak Acil forgot.
Yeah.
But I remember I shared this with Tante Early and Tante Esther.
Oh ya?
That was long time ago.
Ada.
On Sabat. But I think Auntie Early sudah forgot about it too. Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's in Indonesia maybe, huh?
Enggak ada.
Really?
No, in our YouTube channel, the whole of man, it's like long time ago.
Oh,
Ada ini.
on Sabat.
Iya,
On Sabat,
itu.
yeah. We worship. Kak Acil, I think you're in Indonesia.
20, 20, 25, 20.
Oh, oh, I mean last week, 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
No, 3
Oh,
weeks
2
ago.
weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
You can make a lot of questions from
3
this.
weeks ago.
25, 20, 25, 20.
Ini aku baru ya.
25, 20, go to 1798, 25, 20, go to 1863. This is when God started the message to gather people. This is the message when intellectual knowledge was scattered by the chart of James White, 1863. And the number is 2520. Anything else, Kak?
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, so basically, when you understand the first, second, and all the numbers right here that we're gonna study, we are going to really understand about Matthew 25. Okay, Matthew 25, the experience of William Miller, and we are going to repeat their experience. Okay, so far, do you guys understand so far until this point?
Ada pertanyaan enggak?
Any questions? Anything? No? Okay. So let's just move to the study, okay? And this is the new study that we are going to study, even though we know that this is just review from our previous study. But I want each one of us come to the next level that we know for sure. We have a note. You guys going to review. You guys going to ask question. We are going to by the grace of God explain to others without, oh, I think I know, I heard from somebody. No, not anymore. We come to the point that you get to know for yourself. You see it for yourself. You study for yourself. If you don't know, please ask question until you really understand. Okay, now let's jump to the study then. Okay, we know this already. This is our from last time. Okay, now let's go to here. Okay, now what message that has been, what text that has been sealed
What apa?
for 1798?
8:14.
Daniel 8:14. Okay. So do you think, do you need to understand, because in 1798, the unseal of the book, which is Daniel 8:14, do you think, Kak Acil, we need to understand Daniel 8:14?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because through this text, right, Daniel 8:14, that William Miller knows that Jesus will come or the judgment is coming. Isn't it? Isn't it the first angel's message? Fear God, give glory to him, for the hour of judgment is come.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't know that until he find out about Daniel 8:14. Okay. If Daniel 8:14 is so important, okay, and then William Miller figured out about Daniel 8:14, we should, you and me, Daniel 8:14, is Seventh-day Adventist. Each one of us should know Daniel 8:14. If we cannot explain Daniel 8:14, you are not Seventh-day Adventist. Because why? Seventh-day Adventist were raised up based on Daniel 8:14. This is our doctrine. If you forgot Daniel 8:14, I'm not sure why why we call ourselves Seventh-day Adventists, because Daniel 8:14 is the message, is the text that that's why we are Seventh-day Adventists, okay? And God raised up William Miller to proclaim or to unseal the book of Daniel 8:14. Okay, now by saying that, let's study Daniel 8:14, and I wanna each one of us, okay, each one of us, next time after Dino he'll finish with the health quotation, he's the one that's going to, you know, review, make a question or something like that. We're gonna take turn so everybody will understand, each one of us, and then each one of us would be able to share to others, you know, because God is waiting for us to know this message so we can present this message to others. Okay. And right now we're studying about the number, but next time we're gonna study about the application. What is the meaning of fear God? What is the meaning of give glory? What is the meaning of judgment? Something like that. Because we just doesn't want to know the number. We just want to know what is the content of the message. Okay. Okay. Now Daniel 8:14. So let's see how William Miller find out about Daniel 8:14. Okay, this is our study now. Okay, here. Before we jump to Daniel 8:14, I want to know, okay, did you guys know that William Miller has the rule of interpretation?
Yeah.
Anybody hear about that? How many rule of interpretation? How many rule?
Delapan.
Huh?
Delapan.
8.
No.
Ini ada.
Rule 8. But how many rule of interpretation?
Ini rule, nggak tahu 20 kali ya.
Two rule.
No, not to rule. This is rule number 8 that we're gonna study, Pak. How many rule of interpretation? Did you guys ever heard about the rule of interpretation?
Iya, dulu pernah 10 apa 20 gitu.
Okay. Dino, my husband. How many rule of interpretation? Do you remember?
14.
14.
14.
Right.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. But this is how Kak Acil, when William Miller studied in 1816, Kak, over here, to 1818, he make a rule of interpretation. How are we going to interpret the Bible? Because the Bible is going to what? The Bible is going to what?
Explain.
Explain itself, isn't it? So William Miller make a rule how to explain. And you know what? I'm telling you, okay? This is, I'm gonna share to you what Ellen White mentioned about that. It's so interesting. Okay, where is that? Okay, here. Okay, I have something here. Okay, I think in the bottom. Look at what Ellen White said. Look at what Ellen White said. Those who are, okay, I want somebody to read. Okay, how about Dino Hillhood? Dino, can you read, Dino, this quotation?
Those who are engaged in proclaiming a third angel's message are searching the scriptures upon the same plan that the Father Miller adopted.
Just up there. What Ellen White said? If we are going to study about what? Or proclaiming, okay? Not only study, but proclaiming what?
Third angel message.
The third angel's message, we are going to search the scripture upon the same plan that Father Miller adopted. Okay. And the plan that William Miller adopted, like how he studied the Bible, this is the rule. Look at this. In the title book, in the little book entitled Views of Prophecies and Prophetic Chronology, Father Miller gives the following simple but intelligent and important rules for study and interpretation. So Ellen White quote the rules of interpretation. Ellen White did not quote all of them, but he quotes some of them. And you know, the rule, the rule of interpretation using by William Miller is 14. But when we study about Daniel 8:14, we're gonna use one of his rule. Okay, one of his rule. Okay, like this. Okay, because the book that has been sealed is Daniel 8:14 regarding 2300 days. Okay, so we have to use William Miller rule of interpretation by understanding 2300 days. Is that literal days or is that a symbols? You guys understand? Yeah, kan? We cannot know this is literal 2300 days literal or this is a symbol. Okay, if this is a symbol, we have to know day equal what in a symbol. Okay, so day is equal what if this is a symbol. But if this is literal, we have to find out when is the beginning of 2300 days. The beginning 2300 days, the beginning and the end. We're gonna count 2300 days. But if you cannot find out there's anything in the history 2300 days only, meaning these days has a symbol of something. You guys, you need to be able to explain this, okay? Because Daniel and Revelation is talking about symbols, okay? Daniel, Revelation, it's all symbol. Okay, now, okay, when of course William Miller tried to search what happened, 2300 days. Is there anything happened 2300 days? Well, unfortunately not. Nothing happened in the history or in the history. So meaning he has to find out days is equal what? Okay, let me ask you guys. Give me the text in the Bible, just to your mind, okay? To your mind. Day is equal what and in what first? Do not answer right now. Make sure you find the text. Give me two texts. Okay, give me two texts. Two texts that mention day equal what and in what text. Okay? I'll give you time. If somebody find the text and the answer, just answer me as soon as possible.
Estra, apa?
Numbers.
Okay. Go ahead. Tunggu, Auntie Ali. Siapa tadi? Who? Elmer or Dino? Okay, Dino, where is that, Dino?
I think number 1436.
Not that one.
Is it number 1436?
Not 36. Make sure you guys read the text, okay? Read the text before you.
1434.
Okay, before we go to the text, day is equal what?
The other ones.
Day is become a symbol now. Day is equal.
Ezekiel 4:6.
Okay. Hold on, Kak. Tunggu, Kak. Before you give me the text, now day is equal what right now? Is symbol of what? Day
Evening and morning.
Evening.
Morning.
Year.
a
Oh,
year. Year. Because now it's not literal days anymore. Days is equal year. Okay, got it so far? Because in the Bible, when you search, probably, okay, people said, okay, day is equal week or day is equal a month. And you have to find out, is that true? A day equal week or a month? And it's not true. Day is equal year. Okay, so right now a day is become a symbol of year. 1 day equal 1 year. 2 days equal 2 years. Okay. Where is the text again? Sorry.
4:6. Ezekiel 4:6.
Okay, Ezekiel 4 verse 6, and then
Numbers something.
Numbers.
Is it 14 something?
1434.
1434. That's right. 34. Okay, hold on. Yeah. 18. Okay. Okay, I wanna give something interesting about this number.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Ready? Ezekiel 4:6 and Numbers 14:34. Did you guys read the text? Did you guys read the text? Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm not gonna open the text because we know this text already. A day is equal a year. A day is equal a year. Okay, this is two witness already. Okay, meaning when William Miller used this rule of interpretation, a day is equal a year, meaning 2300 days is equal what?
23, you mean for a year, right? 2300 year.
That's right,
Yes.
years, yeah, 2300 years.
Yes.
So far, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now look at what William Miller found out here, okay? Okay, look at here. One of the rule of interpretation, which is rule number 8, Kak Acil, remember ya Kak, ask question, rule number what or whatever that William Miller found out about 2300 days. And he said the day meaning a year. And you know what? Yeah, 1 day equal 1 year.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is what the text that William Miller used. Ezekiel 4:6 and number 34 number 14 verse 34. Okay, hold on. I think I did something. Hold on.
48.
Kenapa?
Enggak. 48.
Tunggu ya. I think I did something. Hold on.
48.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do it again. There you go. Yeah, ini dia. Ezekiel 4:6 and Numbers 14:34. Okay, ready? You gonna see God's number again?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Okay, now William Miller used this rule of interpretation. 1 day is equal
A year.
1 year. Okay. Now, when William Miller used this interpretation, 1 day equal a year, which is 2300 days equal 2300 years that Jesus will come. You know, this is the principle. Okay, remember, 1 day equal 1 year. This one, okay. This rule of interpretation, a day is equal a year. Okay, now, who used this rule of interpretation to enforce his message? Who else that used the same rule that William Miller used?
Samuel Snow.
Not Samuel Snow, Auntie Early.
Oh, Josiah Leach.
Okay, Josiah Leach, right? How do you know that he used this rule to
Karena Ottoman kala itu.
Okay, Ottoman Empire, right? We're gonna go there next time, okay? Not now, but I'm just gonna give you the beautiful number, okay? Josiah Leach used the same rule of interpretation using by William Miller, a day is equal a year. We're gonna study about that next time. How did he find out about okay, what year did Josiah Leach make a prediction that Ottoman Empire will collapse? What year?
1840.
1840. Okay. He used what principle did Josiah Leach use? What principle?
A day.
A day equal a year. And a day equal a year. Where do you guys found the text?
Ezekiel
4:6, number 14:34. And he predict the 1840 Ottoman Empire collapse. Okay, Nathan, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, 6 plus 4 is equal
10.
10.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Yeah, say louder.
10. Okay, 0. Okay, 3 plus 1,
4.
4.
18:40
4
ya?
plus 4.
Iya, 8.
What is the number?
1840.
1840. Oh, man. Wow. We gotta see Jesus in here. We just have to see God's signature on this prophecy. So when we
Right.
see that, yeah, Kak?
Yeah, we did not get this long time ago. Huh?
Well, Kak, whether you get it or not, you get it now. Yeah. Okay. So
Maybe I'm getting to love this again.
yeah, because this is God's message. This is not
Well,
human
It's not
message.
human.
yeah.
This is God. If we see God, we can love it.
I used to like very much the number. And it's numb right now. And I have to
Now it's coming back.
wake him up.
Yeah, I already forgetting to.
Yeah. So remember, if we forget about something, oh, where is the text? Day equal a year. Just put 1840 here. And I think I remember 4 and 6. Okay, 4 and 6. Ezekiel 4 verse 6 is easy, right? How do you make it easier, Ezekiel 4 verse 6? How do you know that Ezekiel 4 verse 6? It's so easy.
10.
Look at this, Auntie Early. 10 commandments, right?
Yeah.
For God and man.
Amen.
For
And chromosome.
Chromosome too, yeah.
What is that? Chromosome. That's right. This is our chromosome 46. 10 commandments, 4 and 6. So is 1 equal, a day is equal a year. And then you can just, 1840. So 14, 34. Like that.
So what is 1434? Yang easy way to
Numbers
remember.
14. You know what? I haven't found anything yet. But yeah. Okay, how about like this? The end of this is always 4. Okay? 4 and 4. But 1 plus 3 is 4.
4.
1 plus 3 is 4. 1, 4, 3, 4. 14, 34. 4, 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 1 plus 3 is 4. Whatever to make you guys easier to remember, but when you add all of them, it's 1840. That's it. Just
144.
Okay, anyway. Okay, let's just continue, okay? Okay, so this is what William Miller make a rule of interpretation. 1 day is equal 1 year. And Ezekiel 4:46, Numbers 14:34. Now this is so this is the text, Daniel 8:14, that has been sealed until 1798. And God raised up William Miller to unseal the book of Daniel 8:14. Okay. So far okay? Ke situ? Okay. Now, okay. Now, this is the study that we really need to. Oh wow. Okay. A big explanation. Big explanation is like this. Okay, let me just put in the bottom right here. Okay. This is another line. Okay, right now, after William Miller figured out that 2300 days is not a literal days, but they equal a year, meaning 2300 years. If you're William Miller, okay, if you are William Miller, what are you trying to, okay, 2300 years and the sanctuary cleanse. Okay, what's next? Okay, Elmer, Nathan, What is next? If
We
23
have to find out the year beginning and or maybe either one.
Oh, okay.
The beginning or the end.
Good job, Auntie Early. Meaning, you need to know or you need to find out when is the beginning of 2300 or when is the end of 2300. Because either way, if you know the end of 2300, it's easy for you to find the beginning. Or if you know the beginning of 2300, it's easy for you to know the end of 2300 years. So far, okay?
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay, praise God. Now, meaning William Miller has to know, has to find out the Bible text when is the just response yeah, meaning William Miller has to find out when is the
Beginning,
beginning or
the end.
the end of
2300 years.
That's right, Auntie Early. That's right. William Miller has to find out the text in the Bible, okay? Of course, in the book of Daniel, because you cannot go somewhere else, because the book that is still in the book of Daniel. So you have to find out in the book of Daniel the instruction or anything information about the beginning of 2300 years and or the end. If you know either one and you know exactly the beginning of 2300 days and you know exactly the end of 2300 days and you know the exactly of what, Auntie Early? Apa di sini?
Oh, judgment.
Judgment. Isn't it? That's the first angel's message.
Hmm.
Fear God, give glory.
Glory.
Before you facing judgment, one thing you have to know, fear God, and then give glory.
Glory.
Because the judgment is come. Okay, next time we're gonna study about fear God and give glory. Okay, so if the judgment is so near, let's say, Auntie Early, let's say, okay, if the judgment is so near, meaning do we need to really prepare ourselves?
Of course.
Yeah, that's why when William Miller find out that the judgment is near, oh man, he was like, oh, we need to be ready. We need to be ready. The judgment is near. Jesus is coming soon. And what year did he find out that the Jesus is coming soon or judgment is near? What year?
1818.
1818. Okay, that's right. So 1818, he already knows about the 20 days. The beginning and the end. Okay, the beginning and the end. So what we're gonna do right now, I think about 10 minutes. we're gonna find out how did William Miller knows the beginning of 2300 days. But before I continue, probably you guys remember what is the text to use the beginning of 2300 days? What text?
Rule. Oh, text.
Daniel
Daniel berapa, Kak?
8:14.
Justru Daniel 8:14, Kak, yang
Oh, Daniel 9:24, 25.
Daniel 9. Okay. Auntie Early is getting there. Let's see. Okay. That's right, Auntie Early. But we have to be able to defend. Okay. Why are you using that text? Okay. We need to be able to defend right now.
It's right, Elmer. So you have
Now Daniel 9:24. Okay. So after you read Daniel 8:14, you're not gonna be able to find out the beginning of 2300 days in Daniel 8. Okay. Meaning you have to continue read Daniel. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something, okay? Okay, in the time of before the Bible, before we have the Bible, let's say this one is Daniel 8 and then Daniel 9. Do you think before they have a chapter, they have a verse, or everything is just like one scroll of the book, Daniel 8 and 9 continually? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm trying to explain?
Yes.
Yeah, because Daniel 8:14 is the book that been sealed, right? In
Yeah.
Daniel 8, you will not find out anything, information about the beginning or the end of Daniel 8:14, which is 22
Oh.
century. Meaning
Okay.
you gotta continue to read Daniel, okay? Don't stop in Daniel 8. Continue to read the book of Daniel. Now you gotta continue to read Daniel 9. Okay, Daniel 9, there's one verse that really catch William Miller attention, and he was like, okay, let me connect with Daniel 9 and Daniel 8. Okay, let's read Daniel 9:24. Okay, let's Elmer. Okay, Elmer, can you read Daniel 9 verse 24?
70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city,
Mm-hmm.
to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy.
Okay. When we just read like this, okay, without using the rule of interpretation of William Miller, or we just surface reader, I bet we cannot find out. We are not be able to find out Daniel 8:14 regarding 2300 years. Okay, but when we really study about, the method of study of William Miller, he really study, verse after verse, words after words, using concordance and the Bible only. Then finally he find out about this text. Okay, Daniel 8:24. 70 weeks are determined. Okay, I'm not gonna really go explain into detail, but let's just go straight. Okay, go straight to the point. Here, the word determined in here, you guys probably know. The word determined is kautak. Okay, this is Hebrew word kautak. Kautak meaning is to cut off. Okay, cut off. Okay, let's say something here. Okay, let's say there's a timeline in here. Timeline. How do you cut off this? How do you cut off? I mean, yeah. How do you? Let's say this is
Cut off from the long one, cut off to short.
okay, right? Jadi this is the long one. You gotta cut off.
Like a takeaway, huh?
Yeah, take
Potong.
or cut off. Something like that, okay? Something like this, okay? Cut off, determine, cut off. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, cut off. Hold on, let me just go back here. Kacil. Okay. Wait. Yeah, determine, cut off.
Kamu nyanyi.
Ya, tadi kebuka yang Kacil nyanyi. Okay, cut off. Determine meaning cut off. Wow, you know what? Cut off, there's something that needs to be cut off from something, isn't it? Now, when you go back to study, like Daniel 9, 23, 22, 20, 21, there is nothing that you need to cut off from. You guys understand? Nggak ada di buku di ayat-ayat itu yang harus dipotong dari sesuatu. Bisa mengerti Tante Eli sama Kak Acil? You guys understand or no?
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's a cut off from the 200-300?
No, don't go there yet, Kak.
Oh, okay.
Don't go there yet. Just fokus di Daniel 8.
Segini, di cut off segini.
Yeah.
Ya, jadi when we study Daniel 9, there is no verse in Daniel 9 that mention you need to cut off, because the Daniel 9:24 has something to do with cut off, right, Kak?
Yeah.
Ya kan? Nah, kalau mau cut off, you need to cut off from something, oke Kak?
Yeah, from the long wood. Except
Yeah, from the long wood. Let's say ini wood, you need to cut off.
Yeah.
Tapi in Daniel 9, nggak ada mention about wood yang harus di-cut. Iya kan? Berarti meaning Kak Acil needs to go to Daniel 8 to find out about something yang needs to be cut off. Oke, sampai situ dulu ya. Sampai just stay right there. In Daniel 9, there is nothing that you need to cut off from something. Like, okay, this is cut off from what? Because you need to cut off, but you need where do I need to cut off? Okay, this is Daniel 9:24. Now let's go to Daniel 9:25 and we put things together, okay? We put things together. Okay. So 70 weeks, right? 70 weeks. Now we'll go back to 70 weeks. Okay. Nathan, can you read Daniel 9:25?
You have to dip once. Okay.
Daniel 9:25.
Just open the camera there. I mean, open the the voice.
Right there. Oh, it's her screen.
I already shared this share screen if you guys wanna.
Yeah. No, therefore I understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks. The streets will be built again, and the wall, even the troublous times.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Okay, thank you, Nathan. So in Daniel 9:24 and 25, do you guys see there's a timeline also? Did you guys see? In Daniel 9:24, 25, did you guys see there's a timeline?
Yeah.
Timeline, okay. I want to ask you guys, what's the timeline in Daniel 9:24? Okay. In Daniel 9:24, what is the timeline? Let's say this is Daniel 9:24, 24 and 25, okay? What is the timeline? What is the time prophecy in Daniel 9:24?
24, 70 weeks.
Okay, just stop there, okay? 70 weeks. Okay. Let's use the rule of interpretation of William Miller. Okay. 1 week is equal how many days?
30. 1 week, 1 week, 7 days.
Okay, 7 days. Meaning 70 weeks, how many days?
How many years?
No, days dulu.
Oh, maksudnya 70 weeks. 70 weeks, 70 times 7.
Uh-huh.
70 times 7, 490.
490 apa?
Days.
Days. But we already know days is equal, day equal, meaning 490 days is equal 490 years. Okay. And the 490 years is divided into how many parts? How many part of the week?
Oh, how many part of the week?
Yeah, maksudnya how many parts for the 70 weeks itu divided how many part? Based on Daniel
70.
Based on Daniel 9, 24 and 25. Itu 70 weeks itu ada dia punya divisionnya.
Oh, I see.
Apa?
3 parts.
Ada 7
Okay,
kali 7 masuk.
What are the 3 parts?
3.
Ada di Daniel 9:25.
Yeah, 3.
What are the 3 parts?
7.
Okay.
62.
7 apa? 7 what?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Okay. And then
62 weeks.
62 weeks. And then
And 1 week.
And then 1 week, we have no option. It doesn't mention over there 1 week yet, nanti later, but 7 weeks plus 62 weeks is already 69, right? But this is 70 weeks, berarti sisanya 1 week. Okay.
Man, how could we forget this? We've been over and over to study this.
How can we forget about this? How can we proclaim the first and second?
Yeah.
Because there are still present truth. And then, yeah, 7 weeks. Okay, 7 weeks is how many days?
7 weeks, 7 times 7. 49.
49 days or 49 years. Okay. 62 weeks is how many days?
62 times 7.
Yeah,
4, 42, 464.
Not 464.
Huh? 6. Oh, wait a minute. 62 times 7. Mana kalkulator otaknya lain. 62. Wait.
434.
434. That's right. 434 years.
Yes.
And then 1 week is equal 7, right? 7 days or 7 years. Wow, guys. Okay. So this is basically the prophecy of 70 weeks or 490 days or 490 years divided into 3. 7 weeks, 62 weeks, 1 week, or 49 years, 434 years, and 7 years. This is the division. Okay. Now look at this. Okay. 490 years, okay, 490 years. In here, mention about, hold on, let me go back to the note. Here, 70 weeks, or the 490 years, it's being cut off. Di-cut off. Jadi, 490 years, prophecy itu, ada dia punya bagian dari another prophecy.
2300.
Understand? Because ini harus di-cut off. Okay, 490 years di-cut off dari something because Kak Acil nggak bisa cut off ini kalau nggak ada ini harus di-cut off kan Kak? That's right. Nah,
cut from 2300.
Nah, that's right. Jadi ini 490 years ini cut off dari mana? Karena dia nggak bisa cut off by itself. Harus ada sesuatu yang panjang yang harus di-cut off. Nah, berarti only prophecy in the book of Daniel 9, you cannot see any number or you cannot see timeline in Daniel 9, only 490 years or 70 weeks. But if you go backward, okay, it's being cut off from 2300 years because there's the only timeline prophecy in the book of Daniel 8 because Daniel 8 and Daniel 9, they're close together, right? After Daniel 8 and then Daniel 9. Daniel 9 mentioned 490 years it's being cut off. Cut off from what? Cut off from something. What is this? You know, we need to find out. Oh, cut off from 2300 years. Because you need to cut off from something. Meaning 490 years is shorter than 2300 days. So far, okay, 2300 years. Okay, just like this. Ini 2300 years compare with 490 years, mana lebih panjang?
23.
Which one is longer? 2300 years, right? Meaning 490 years itu part dari 2300 years because 2300 years is longer than 490 years. So 490 years di-cut off dari sesuatu yang lebih panjang karena nggak mungkin it is impossible to cut off from something that is shorter than something. Harus di-cut off dari sesuatu yang lebih panjang. Nah, we need to cut off from something that is longer than 490 years. What is it? 2300 years. Okay, 2300 years di cut off, okay, from 490 years. Okay, so this is 490 years di cut off from 2300 years, because 2300 years compared to 490 years, 2300 years is longer than 490 years. Di cut off berarti there's a time prophecy that is longer than 490 years and it's being cut off. So this is the time prophecy 2300 years di cut off jadi bagian dari 490 years. So far okay or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Tapi untuk we know the beginning now, we don't have to find out the end or what, where the beginning of cut off dari sini kah atau dari tengah. Just go straight. The cutting off of 490 years from 2300 years from the beginning, okay? So the beginning of this it's here. Okay, the beginning of it, let's just finish it ya. Kita udah overtime, but let's just finish this. The beginning of 2300 days or 490 years adalah ini. There's gonna be a commandment to restore and build Jerusalem, right? And look at the pay attention to the word that Daniel was given. Street shall be built again and the wall, even in the troublous time. So we need to pay attention every information, because what? We know there's the 3 decree, okay? 3 decree. Who are those king that issue the decree?
Artaxerxes.
The first one.
Darius.
No, the second one.
Huh?
Darius is the second, wasn't
Yeah, that is the second one. Who is the first?
Start with the C. C starts with C.
Cyrus.
The first.
Yeah.
Darius,
And Artaxerxes.
Artaxerxes the third decree. But which decree that we are going to start the beginning point of 490 years or 2300 years? In Daniel 9:25 give information that we gotta pay attention. It says, streets shall be built again and the wall, even in the troublous time. If you know, or if we find out that there's a king when he issued the decree and they began to build the street and the wall, that's the king that we're gonna start the beginning of 2300 and the beginning of 490 days. So far, okay?
I guess.
Let me explain again. There's a 3 king, Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes. They issued a decree to go forth to restore and build Jerusalem, right? Because they're in manner. Where are they right now? Where are they right now?
The year 490 days.
They're in captivity.
No, they were in
Babylon.
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 So there's a commandment or there's a decree for them to come out from Babylon to go to Jerusalem, right? To build the sanctuary, okay? But how do you know what king? Because we know that the king that issued the decree is Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes. Which king or what year? If you know the king, we're gonna find out what year exactly when the king issued the decree. Okay, let's say Cyrus. Okay, let's say, okay, example Cyrus. If Cyrus is the king, we have to know exactly what year Cyrus issued the decree. If you know exactly the year Cyrus issued the decree, that's the beginning of 2300, and that's the beginning of of
70 weeks.
70.
70 weeks or 490 years. Okay, so far?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna study. Okay, when we're gonna study, oh, you know what? What is the clue? What king we should use to point out, okay, this is the beginning of 2300. Daniel, give the clue. Look at the clue. The street shall be built again and the wall. So if you see there's a decree that they're building a wall, they're building a street, that's the king that we should use for the beginning of 2300 days and the beginning of 490.
Yes,
Here's prophecy. What king is that? Okay, let's say, okay, now we're gonna use the real one. Artaxerxes. Oh, okay, so in the time of Artaxerxes, when he issued the decree to go back to Jerusalem, they built the street and the wall. Okay, so what year is the decree then? Okay, so this year, meaning we have to use the decree of Artaxerxes, because in the time of Artaxerxes, they built the street and the wall. You guys understand?
Yeah.
But if they just built the sanctuary, can we use the decree? If they just built the sanctuary, can we use the decree?
No.
No, we cannot use the decree. Why? Why?
Karena
Karena has to be what? They have to build what?
Build the street.
Street and the wall. That's right. That's right. If they go to Jerusalem just to build foundation, can you use the decree? Can you use the decree to the beginning of 2300 days? Can we use that?
Enggak.
Nggak bisa. You have to use whose king that issued the decree, and then they build the what? Street and
the wall.
The wall. Okay? Okay. You know what? Here, this is supaya Kak Acil bisa itu next week. Okay? So in the time of Cyrus, look at in the time of Cyrus, they built a. In the time of Cyrus, look at here. Thou shalt build the temple, thy foundation. So in the time of Cyrus, Cyrus built foundation. Can we use the decree of Cyrus?
No.
No. Why? Why not? Why we
Because
cannot?
the foundation shall be built, and to the temple that foundation shall be laid. Berarti belum, karena baru shall be.
Why, Andeli? Did you see any street and the wall right there?
Enggak, shall be, shall.
Yeah, in the time of Cyrus, the sanctuary. Nanti we go over this one, okay? But I'm just gonna give it to you for next week. Question and review. In the time of Cyrus, they only laid the foundation. Okay. Now the second decree is Darius. Okay. In the time of Darius, okay, Ezra 6 verse 15. They built and finished according to the commandment of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes. And this house was finished on the 3rd day of the month of Adar, which was the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king, and they dedicate the house of God. So in the time of Darius, what happened with the sanctuary?
House was finished.
They finished building the sanctuary, and they dedicate, tabiskan itu temple in the time of Darius. But why we cannot use Darius?
It's not finished yet.
Even the house finished, but you don't see the what?
The wall and
the
street.
wall and the street. That's right. Good job, Auntie Early. Now we go to the time of Artaxerxes, okay? In the time of Artaxerxes, we know in Ezra come out from Babylon in the time of the king Artaxerxes. And look at in the king of Artaxerxes in the time of Ezra, okay? For we are bondmen, yet our God has not forsaken us in our bondage, but hath extended mercy unto us in the sight of kings of Persia, to give us a reviving to set up the house of our God, and to repair the desolation thereof, and to give us a what?
A wall.
A wall in Judah and in Jerusalem. Oh, nanti we're gonna read Ellen White mention the street and the wall. You know, so in the time of Artaxerxes, Ezra, they went back to Jerusalem. The foundation was already laid. The sanctuary already finished, but the street and the wall has not been built. But Ezra and Nehemiah, they finished the work of sanctuary. The foundation, the sanctuary, the wall, and the street has been built in the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. And who is the king that issued the decree? Is Artaxerxes. Meaning we need to use the decree of Artaxerxes to point the beginning of 2300 years or the beginning of 490 years. So far, okay, sampai situ because we're gonna close over here.
We're gonna listen again.
Okay, listen again. Okay, but we know the reason why we cannot use Cyrus, right?
Okay, yeah.
We cannot use Darius. We cannot.
Karena belum komplit.
Belum complete, that's right. Cyrus baru foundation. Darius udah ada sanctuary, udah didedicate, tapi wall and street belum ada. Okay? Only in the time of Artaxerxes, when the priests and then Levite, they came and then they built the street and the wall. What is the wall represent?
It's the law.
The law of God. When is the complete, when do the people know exactly the law of God? In the time of Millerite.
Oh, Judgment Day.
When did they know that? Oh, wow.
1844?
Yeah, 1844, when the most holy place was open. What did they see inside, Kak Acil?
Law.
The law of God. Mana yang lebih bersinar? Which one is shining?
Four.
The fourth.
Four commandments.
And what angel's message that pointing to the law and the Sabbath day and the righteousness of God? The law. What angel's message? The third angel's message. And the third angel's message represent the decree of Artaxerxes. Meaning on the third angel's message, we already finished the foundation. We already finished the building of the temple. Now God is restoring the what right now? Apa yang di the most holy place? Apa yang di the most
the law.
yang lagi bernyala lebih cepat?
Sabbath day.
The Sabbath day. We are Seventh-day Adventists until early. We never keep the Sabbath day holy. How do I know?
Karena kita selalu melanggar.
Ellen White mentioned, in order for us to keep
The Sabbath
day holy,
Have
we
to be holy.
Must be holy. What is another word for holy, Kak? Anybody, what is another word for holy? No, not that one. What is another word for holy in English?
Still?
Huh?
Still?
No, another word for holy.
Righteous.
Righteous. What is the third angel's message?
Righteousness
by faith. When you guys know the foundation, the Cyrus, Darius, Artaxerxes, if you know exactly and we connect with the third angel's message, verse 1 and 2, you are gonna loving it, you know, because we're connecting it with the third angel's message, righteousness by faith. If we understand righteousness by faith, righteousness of God, we're gonna keep the Sabbath day holy. The third decree, the third angel's message point us to Sabbath day. That's why our great test in the future is about Sabbath, guys. But we cannot be sealed if we are not holy. And how we gonna be holy, how we are going to receive righteousness of Christ, that's the message of the third angel's message. And we cannot receive the seal of God, which is by keeping the Sabbath without understanding it.
I'm hungry.
I heard that.
Oh, hungry, mommy. You should stop. Okay, okay. I think
Who's that?
one of the kids. Yeah, sorry. I mean, yeah, I know I'm over time because we're not gonna be here next Sabbath, and I want to get as much as information for you guys to go over and question and something like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we're finished. Just